Doraemon popped a cassette tape into Nobita's body, instantly granting him amazing stamina, allowing him to buy a light bulb and return in just a few minutes. This is the power of the ability cassette. Anyone who merges with a tape can temporarily gain superhuman abilities, and there are many different types available. Doraemon removed the marathon runner tape from Nobita, and told him to get back to studying, since he had an exam the next day. However, when Doraemon tried to take the gadget back, Nobita suddenly stopped him. It turned out he wanted to use the power of the tapes to do his math problems. With that, he snatched the box of ability cassettes from Doraemon's hands, and rummaged through it to find the mathematician tape. Faced with Nobita's opportunistic and mocking attitude, Doraemon felt incredibly disappointed, even beginning to wonder if his presence by Nobita's side was unnecessary. He responded to Nobita's gloating with nothing but cold silence. Then, Nobita inserted the mathematician tape into his body. He breezed through his math homework in seconds, and immediately laid down on the floor once he was done. The next day, Nobita took all the tapes with him to the exam. By this point, Doraemon seemed to have given up on Nobita, and didn't even try to stop him. Unsurprisingly, on today's math exam, Nobita got a perfect score. Then, Nobita shined in his language arts class, shocking the teacher. His painting in art class even stunned the whole room, earning him a look of admiration from Shizuka. However, John and Sunio sat behind him, grinding their teeth in jealousy. When he got home, Nobita bragged to Doraemon about his glorious achievements that day, but Doraemon acted as if he hadn't heard a thing, not saying a single word. Nobita deliberately pulled out an ability cassette, declaring he wouldn't give it back, but Doraemon simply stood up in silence, and walked straight toward the door. Nobita felt Doraemon was acting strange today. Just then, John and Sunio invited Nobita to play baseball, secretly planning to use the game to humiliate him. To their surprise, Nobita pulled out the baseball player tape, and hit consecutive home runs during the game, leaving John and Sunio in a state of total disbelief. Then, when it was Nobita's turn to pitch, he utterly defeated the duo. As the two prepared to leave, dizzy and confused, Haruo couldn't help but praise how amazing Nobita was. After that, Nobita even started performing magic tricks for everyone, drawing cheers from the crowd. Then he showed off his singing talent, leaving everyone impressed except for John and Sunio, who looked annoyed. Suddenly, someone remarked that he sounded much better than John. That one sentence instantly set John off. John let out a roar, demanding to know who had just said that. Terrified, everyone turned and ran. Nobita calmly took out a kung fu tape. Nearby, Yasuo and Haruo had been cornered by John. Just as John was about to take his anger out on them, Nobita appeared and blocked his path. Yasuo and Haruo seized the chance to escape. John and Sunio charged at him aggressively, but to their surprise, with a single, mid-air sweeping kick, Nobita knocked them both down. John couldn't believe Nobita possessed such strength. Right in front of their faces, Nobita smashed a concrete pipe with his bare hands, thoroughly intimidating them. When Nobita raised his fist again, John and Sunio turned and fled without looking back. Immersed in the thrill of invincibility, Nobita happened to find a thinker tape and decided to try it out. Unexpectedly, as soon as the tape was inserted, Nobita's eyes went blank. He automatically sat down on a concrete pipe, and began to seriously contemplate everything that had happened that day. He recalled how he had just dazzled everyone, but wasn't that entirely due to the power of the tapes? He was still the same stupid, foolish, and cowardly person inside. Nothing had actually changed. Thinking back to Doraemon's cold retreat earlier, he realized he couldn't stay a child forever, nor could he rely on Doraemon's protection eternally. If he didn't put in the effort himself, he would truly remain a loser forever. Having reached this epiphany, Nobita returned home and voluntarily gave the box of tapes back to Doraemon. Doraemon was pleasantly surprised and brought out some dorayaki to celebrate, but Nobita refused, insisting on finishing his homework through his own efforts first. Although he still looked troubled by the difficult problems, he was finally starting to try relying on himself.